Greetings, Internet. It's Alex and Louis from Barefaced, and we have two of our biggest guitar/bass baritone thing cabs.
Yeah.
Upsizing. So these were available as two 12 cabs, or 12 plus 15-inch cabs, or we could do a 15 plus 15. It'll fit. No one's wanted one yet.
We haven't really chatted about it.
Yeah, we don't. It's a thing, but the 12-15 thing really works.
It does, yeah. It's a nice combo.
You can't just chuck anything together and it'll work, but we're here to think about it and figure out what works.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you choose a particular 12 and a particular 15 and then we test it and we go, no, don't.
True, yeah.
It's easy enough for us to change them. You know, all the 12s we fit from Celestion all just swap in and out universally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's easy. And there's not that many 15s to choose from.
These are good combos as well. So we got some that we know work now.
Yeah, so this is relatively stock in the sense that this has a V30.
Which is the stock 12.
It has a fullback, so that's the Celestion Guitar 15, of which they only make one in current production.
Just the fullback, isn't it? Yeah.
And this is our standard enclosure design, which we will turn around in a bit and show you, well, or it'll magically happen here in an edit, which has a single AVD, 2 ports, a shared enclosure, so the 2 ports are there because the AVD also acts as a port, so it tunes it to the right frequency for it to sound great.
Mm-hmm.
Deep enough, fat enough, not boomy. Not boomy is so important. That's one of the killers with too many guitar cabs.
Yes, sure.
It's my bugbear with a lot of 412s. And then this one is our bass baritone variant. So you can use it for guitar, you can also use it for bass, you can also use it for baritone.
Yep.
It has switchable mono stereo wiring.
It does.
So when it's mono, it's both drives in parallel. Stereo, you can drive them separately, so 2 amps, literally.
Yep.
It's tuned quite a bit lower. It's got much larger ports to deal with the higher excursion, greater air moving demands from the bass driver that's in there. So it's got a BN15400X, which is a Celestion bass guitar driver on the guitar driver.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a red back.
It does.
In the top, so that's 150 watt guitar driver in the top, 400 watt bass driver in the bottom.
Yep.
And this enclosure is one big airspace, all shared. AVD works together with the 2 ports. This enclosure is quite mad, and actually just this bit is the top driver. Yeah, this is a guitar driver, and then these bits up here are actually part of the lower enclosure, so we've got more airspace for the bass driver to work in, so it goes deeper.
Yeah.
Works really well. We're rather chuffed with that.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's 4 ohm.
Yeah.
This is 8 ohm, so I've got to switch 2 things at once. And I'll try not to mess it up. So we're starting here. And we're just using the Ignator for now.
For now we are, yeah. This will maybe get introduced later.
Yeah.
That's so. I love that.
That sounds so good. It's really rich.
Yeah, exactly. For that kind of playing, that's
Rich
really cool.
and warm and coherent and loud.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that and the V30 and the fullback
They work so
are
well.
magic together.
Yeah.
They blend really well. I know they're quite different sounding drivers.
We did a video not too long ago, didn't we, with the fifth fullback for the first time.
The fullback's
fell
got
in love.
tons of mid range.
Yeah.
I think some really.
It's vocal.
It is. It really speaks in a fun way. It's not a bass driver at all.
No, totally.
It's a guitar speaker. Ignore the fact it's a 15. It's a really wicked sounding guitar speaker.
Yeah.
It's just unconventional because it's a 15, but it's really good. And I think it fills in the gaps of the V30. I think they're just really magic together.
Yeah, I agree.
Like salt and pepper.
Yeah.
This, on the other hand, is dry and clear and lean. It's nowhere near as fat. It's definitely a bit quieter.
It is. Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed. Yeah.
There's quite some detail coming from that 15 on the bottom. But it's quiet in comparison. It's not as efficient. But this is not meant to. This is like a conventional guitar cab, maybe the 12 and a 15.
Yeah.
Made better with the AVD and all those other clever things we do. I mean, I know these look huge. They're not as big. Actually, they're not as big as a 412, are they? They're taller than a 412. They're similar in depth and they're quite a bit narrower. They're much easier to cap. They're hilariously light.
Yeah.
Especially that one with the Neo driver in.
Yeah,
it's even lighter.
They're still chunky size cabs.
They're big cabs, but they.
You've got it on stage.
Yeah.
Shall we maybe go a bit heavier and see?
Yeah,
I want to try and get this one into the realm that it's gonna like, because that's definitely that thing. Just anything nice in guitar.
Yeah.
That's just a brilliant guitar sound, isn't it?
Do you know what I think about this?
What?
I think this sounds like a 412 should.
Yeah.
You know when you first play through a 4x12, if you because
Yeah.
I don't think any kid starts out on a 412.
No.
But it's definitely a rite of passage.
It's really exciting.
I am not a guitarist, but I've had that moment in my band of us getting hold of a 412 and the guitarist goes through and going, oh, this is
Okay.
kind of boomy.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, because we're used to hearing them on records, which are obviously produced, and often we think we're hearing them on records, and they're not. They're like
not. Yeah.
it's something else that got used in the studio, but it's what you always saw on stage.
So you assume.
Yeah, you assume it's the sound. And actually, you then start to learn that what you thought was this epic guitar sound was actually that guitar and the bass all riffing together, and you hadn't realised how much of the big sound of the guitar was that the bass was perfectly melded with it, and you just didn't separate them when you were younger. But this has that big sound.
It sounds like a record.
It sounds so good.
I'm like, we'll just mic that up and we're good.
It's like got that bottom octave of guitar that you feel like you should get, but when you go through a 412, you don't really get that. You just get this boomy lower mid range, wallow, totally. And that doesn't stop and start like it should, and that just goes.
Yeah, it's got some. It's just tight.
I feel like it also won't get in the way of the bassist in the same way, because it's not got that boomy thing that fills up the space where a lot of the meat of the bass and the kick drum want to inhabit. It sort of reaches in and round, and this wants different EQ, wants driving differently. Basically, these are such different cabs, despite looking the same on the outside, apart from this custom grille cloth.
Yeah,
that they need to be treated quite differently.
Shall we treat this how it wants to be treated then?
Yes. I mean, is that the right guitar?
No, that's point one, isn't it? I think it just should be baritone, no?
I think it's a logical play. It's quite odd.
It's got sense, doesn't it?
It's blending in.
Yeah. That's how that wants to sound.
This is so good.
It's cool, isn't it?
This feels like all those metal sounds that you want to get.
Yeah.
And are so hard to actually get without all the studio trickery.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
ideal
totally.
situation.
Yeah, you can just turn it on, can't you, and just crank it.
Yeah, but it needs more
That's
gain.
with the echoes.
Yeah, this is a.
Yeah, I mean
kinda-
that is.
Yeah, I want to. I'd love to hear a Mesa Boogie triple rectifier
Yeah, totally.
crank through that, or something even more stupid.
Super. Yeah.
Marshall super bass with.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. Or even something sillier. Anyway.
Should we split them up and do some dual input
Yeah.
just for fun?
So we've got Willie and the Tele. Say these are both Reverend guitars because they're excellent. Is through the red back in the top.
Yep.
Tele, Egnator, Tweaker.
Yeah,
it's
this
red back in the top, which has got the AVD bit and stuff. And then Davey is taking the baritone, the Reverend Descent, into the Fuchs Blackjack 21, into the 15, which is a BN 15400X.
Yes.
So it's Neo bass driver.
So in the same cab.
Both with the same cab. So ignore this one. This cab has just become an amp stand.
Yeah.
Set dressing and amp stand.
Yeah, I'm gonna go necked, full dark.
All
Try
right.
and get the full bass.
You do that and I'll noodle.
Cool. Right.
You want to rock off? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was interested. Sounded good.
Yeah.
Did you notice, because I saw you've been very controlled, so the Fuchs there
Mm-hmm.
was kind of on its limit.
Did you hear when it broke up? Davey dug in on one chord.
It's breaking up on the attack.
I've never heard it go.
And because it's not a particularly efficient driver. It's like 95 dB sensitivity.
Yeah.
That 15, and you're asking it to go low. You're asking the amp to move.
This is on like 2 volume as well. It's not.
Yeah, but I think you're reaching the limit of the output stage. So it's-
Totally.
yeah. But it's only a little amp.
Cheers. Yeah, it's only 12 watts. Yeah, into that.
And it's probably not that quiet in here with both of you going.
I don't think so. No.
It doesn't.
I knew we were playing music.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you are. Upsizing 1215s, right?
There you go. I guess, yeah, for anyone that plays guitar and baritone but likes to separate it, like if they were to, especially if you're modelling, I guess if you were to have like your baritone going through modelling and
Wet,
all sorts.
dry,
Wet,
clean,
dry,
dirty.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just switching between guitars, switching from
Yeah.
guitar to bass, working modelling into it, or
Different sounds.
doing this and having two
I
amps, which
really think if
Yeah.
well the two amps on one cab,
Yeah.
especially, you can have a valve amp for the top. You
Yeah.
can have a low power valve amp
Yeah.
for the high end, the guitar effects and stuff, and then you can have a higher power bass amp. You know, you can get a 500 watt bass amp, which is tiny, so you'd actually end up with like a valve amp sitting here, a little bass amp on top of it, but the bass amp's driving the bottom driver.
Yeah.
The valve guitar that's driving the top
If
driver.
you do kind of split stuff and.
Well, there's a lot more people in bands where there's one guitar type instrument, whether it's a bass 6,
Yeah.
whether it's a guitar that's using pitch shifters and stuff like that,
That's what I was
whether it's a
thinking,
bass that's using pitch shifters in the other direction. So you've
Yeah.
got kind of the Royal Blood approach, or you've got the Suddenly my brain has forgotten all of that. Oh, well, White Stripes.
White Stripes, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You know,
yeah, there is
They were,
one.
they were kind of the first big band that did that, weren't they? First big band that was just guitar, drums, vocals.
That I can think of. There's probably
There's been tons and tons and tons since.
Oh, there's definitely a band that's done it before.
Oh,
There's
I'm
always
sure
a
there
band
were,
that's
but
done
they
it
were
before.
epically
Yeah.
huge.
It's always the second
20
people that get
20
the
odd
credit.
years ago, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, yeah.
25 years ago.
Yeah,
Time.
it was a long time ago now.
Time.
Yeah. Yeah, I could kind of get into doing that with bass. I'd quite enjoy that. Be another way of doing things.
Yeah. Nice.
Sweet.
Cool.
Rock. On. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do some. I want to do some bass things with that tomorrow.
Do it. Cool.
Yes.
So we will be back, possibly with some different humans.
Yes.
You will.
You will. Bye bye.
Go large. There's no way we can fit a 15 in a Radical as well.
Not as well as, no.
It's so annoying.
It's just not quite
Can we
big
fit
enough.
a 10 in